everyone's life up and close. I hope the virus hasn't been successful in bringing down your spirits and you're all keeping positive and safe. I am Srijna, I am your host for the day, and today we have with us Mr. Sharath Gavini. He is basically a faculty member at S.O.A. Christ University. He also has his successful Parametric Design studio in the name of Computational Design Lab. He has done his bachelor's from Hyderabad and his master's from AA in Emergent Technologies. Let's welcome our speaker for the day, Mr. Sharath Gavini from Computational Design Lab.
Hello.
Hi Sharath, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. How are you doing?
All good. First of all, thank you on behalf of Team Rehash for sparing your time joining us today for this live session.
Pleasure is mine. I mean, it's always good to talk with, have a good conversation about our field.
Yeah. So, what's keeping you busy these days?
Well, some projects are going on. Pandemic stopped one of my project, and then now we are back in track. And online classes are going on for our Christ University's, students. And one competition is parallelly working. I'm working on the competition, so that's what keeping me busy.
Okay, great. So, you being an educationist, what according to you is the right stage for any student to pick up parametric design, the concepts, how should they focus on this? Should they focus on it, and how should they take about the concepts of parametric design?
Well, I feel students from third semester, they should start looking into things. Well, that's when students start exploring, right?
Yeah.
And students students start exploring seeing things in international level and other projects as well. So that's when students should start looking into it, but it takes time. Well, students, by the time they understand the design process, it will take them till fourth year, eighth semester, seventh semester. By then, they understand the design process in parametric architecture, because there is an unlearning should be done when you are going into a parametric field, because you don't know the outcome. Well, in parametric design, the design process is little unconventional, I would say. It says it's not like you know the outcome. You just play with the rules, and outcome is something which is unexpected and just turns up. I mean, with the rules. So I think students from fourth year, they can grasp parametric architecture because they have done some background work, and they know the design processes. So I think, yeah, students from fourth year can get into it.
Okay, so we've also heard that you do a lot of competition entries. Do you think that serves as a good point of starting or a good learning experience for anybody who wants to take parametric design forward?
Yes, competitions always bring out best from you. So any students who are trying to explore, I think they should look into competitions. And as far as I have worked on many of the competitions, there are two type of competitions which students can look into. One is a design solving problem where, sorry, at a global level, we are trying to solve a problem. So there you will be looking into global problems like there's a sea level rise, there's a hunger issue, there's food scarcity, there's population growth, immigrations. So students can try to solve those global problems, and I think the parametric architecture field is very suitable for these kind of problem solving methodologies. So because parametric architecture allows you to have freedom in terms of design process, and the outcome is unknown, right? So
Yeah.
students can look into computational methods, and parametric architecture gives a lot of I say tools in which they can try and find out the solutions. So I think, and well, for students, I think there is one other the another category I would say for competitions is design and build,
Right.
which they can look into, and it is very good for students to start with, because you will be exposed to design as well as you will get the expertise of building it. So in that sense, students will get a lot of, a lot of confidence in designing as well as building it. So I think students should look into both of the aspects and try to uh, participate in as many as competitions as possible.
Right. So, but when you see a design brief of a competition entry or any brief that comes from your client, is parametric design always your first choice that comes to your mind? Like you want to pursue, you want to take this forward through parametric design technologies, or is there a different process you follow when it comes to picking up from things?
Well, not always.
Okay.
When we see when we see a competition brief, we first try to analyze what is the requirement and what are the objectives we have to achieve. Well, in that sense, when the objective is laid out in a global sense, where we can give a generic solution, we go with the parametric solution. But we are so tuned, my team and my organization, we are so tuned into computational design that we somehow bring in computation or parametric into it. So what we do is we first read the brief, we list out the objectives, and then we see where we can bring in analyses or parametric tools where we can use it to enhance the aesthetics or the form. So we kind of we kind of mix with both the conventional method as well as the parametric approach. But why I'm saying this is because when you have design and build competitions, specifically where you have to build with, so there you have physical entities to deal with. Like you have the site boundaries, the site conditions, the locations, right? You have the trees in it and the urban context. So you have to keep all these in mind and then try to design um, further objectives. So we kind of do both. So and we are so tuned right now that we always do solar radiation analysis any of the design, and because we want to know what are the areas where we can enhance in terms of forms, where we can use you know um, double layered materials, where we can offer photovoltaic cells, how to orient them, and how we also do a lot of CFD, computational fluid dynamics, to
Yeah.
find out what is the wind pattern going into the building, how we can enhance circulation, air circulation into the building. So that's how our process is in terms of design.
That's an interesting approach, and I also feel somehow through this good combination, if we're able to decide that what part can be parametric, what can be conventionally done, it can also give us a speeded up process, and also I think a lot of iterations that can build upon. I'm just adding to what you're saying.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Uh, but most of the times we start with a conventional approach in a very physical, physical identity, physical uh, conditions where you have a lot of limitations,
Right.
right? So there we start with conventional, then we add on what are the tools we can bring in and bring the analysis and other things.
Okay. You also heard this digital fabrication is really picking up right now, and it's like a very excited topic for everybody. They get really intrigued by all of these things. Do you also think that digital fabrication is a good hands-on way for students to pick up the concepts of parametric design, or do you think these are two separate things and have to be pursued in parallel?
No, they have to go hand in hand. Uh, See, parametric design, the entire design approach is very digital. Uh, and the fabrication is a tool, is a technology which is used to build the parametric design, right? So where we see the design elements, what we design in parametric tools, they're all uh, we don't draw them. So these are all computer generated designs and drawings, and elements like we have the vertical lowers, or let's say horizontal lowers, or we go with panel system, or we go with a unit based system, or we use we use an aggregation method for unit based system. So that unit can be a generic unit. So there we just have a small model of it, and that multiplies,
Right.
right? So there we have to use digital fabrication tools like CNC milling, laser cutting, water jet cutting.
Yeah.
As a part of our organization, we are setting up a lab. So my organization is CDL, Computational Design Lab. So there, CO means commercial, ED means education, and then lab means where we're going to do a lot of experiments with materials, with different type of methodology of digital fabrication and other stuff. So fabrication technology has to go hand in hand with the parametric design, because otherwise, I have faced this in my previous offices where my manager would come up and say, "How are you going to build this?" I would say, "Sir, can we not use CNC milling and cut them, laser cut them, and then you can do the bending techniques, or you can do the riveting techniques." And then they would say, "Sir, the labor is very expensive for this and everything." But if even our labor has to get very, very more technical, but I would say this is a technical fabrication technology has to evolve around the computational design or a parametric design. Uh, if otherwise it's like two rails of the train. One is going in the parametric design, and the technology is going. One of the rail is missing, then it's a waste, right? And one more important thing is in terms of materials, how to use materials. Uh, Students has to get in grip with materials. Like if they're using concrete, what are the properties which they can enhance? If they're using hard materials like plywood, cardboard, or MDF or something like that, they should have a grip of their properties as well, right? So I think in our education system as well, till date, universities and colleges have not stressed on bringing on this fabrication machinery. I will say now that the paradigm is shifting. As far as my university is concerned, we are intended to build a lab which will have all the state of the art machineries. We are slowly by the great. I mean, by end of 2 years, 3 years, we will be building a lab which will be equipped with all the machineries, and students will get hands-on experience,
That's great.
and that's how even the market is evolving. So it will be good experience for students to learn all this.
So, do you think there is a shift or there is an inclination towards parametric design among students, amongst professionals? Are they thinking about parametric design with respect to, a country like ours where so much is happening right now and with this pandemic and everything? Do you think any of these will affect? Was there parametric design? Will it play a bigger role now? What do you think about this as per the current scenario?
I think there is a paradigm shift which is happening slowly. As a matter of fact, any change takes time. the current market scenario, the current architectural practices and construction practices are still inclined to the traditional way of construction, but there is a paradigm shift which is slowly happening in terms of small elements where you have elevation elements, where you have, facade elements or interior elements, which are going, which are I would say going to the digital platform, right? And as per the design is concerned, the design methodology, uh, I that paradigm shift is being happening from past 5 years, 6 years because the introduction of BIM. BIM started coming in from past 10, 15 years, 10 years I would say, and then slowly the need of digital, need of parametric architecture, need of computational design, wherein we can bring out solutions, has slowly come into the architectural practices as well. But as you know, the ratios are quite low.
Yeah.
I'm not, as far as I have seen, I'm not quoting for everybody. But technology is going to be disruptive, and I am pretty sure by 15 years, uh, the design processes will change because automation is something which is coming in. And once automation, people start using automation, I think the design process will change abruptly. I think this I've seen in my previous office where we in Dar Al Handasaha, where we were working on big projects. Like the project was about 80 acres. Imagine 80 acres project, and there were hardly 20 people which were handling them. Imagine if that would have been designed like 15, 20 years, there would have been close to 20, 25, close to 50, 60 people who would be handling this, right? So automation and parametric architecture are going hand in hand, with parametric architecture giving the solution and automation is cutting down the production productions number, right? So the the paradigm shift is slowly coming into picture there. As well as in, if you see, as well as in education, many universities will be now turning into this research mode, because now the, as you know, the mantra is what do they call it? It's all about research and development. So more universities need more PhDs, more doctorates. So there's a shift in education industry as well.
That's quite encouraging to hear that the field is growing in a country like ours. Also, it's growing, and I hope that in future we are able to see a lot more of parametric designers who are out there in the open and are ready to practice. So, finally, the final question: what is parametric design?
Well, for me, parametric design is freedom. I think if you see in the background, the video which you're seeing, this was done for a small, settlement, and the entire design process is 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 parametric. As in, I have the full control, even though it is an organic design. I don't know the outcome, right? I have put in the rules, and I'm running towards the objective that I'm saying. I want an ambient uh, light, ambient temperature inside the buildings as well as on the rooftop. I want the maximum sunlight to gain photovoltaic, power. So here it gives me the freedom of choosing any of the design and with the objectives which I wanted to achieve. So this is one of the project which we have done. So yeah, that's what design is for. Well, it changed my life when I was in 2000. When I was in fifth year, I discovered this, and since then, the design process is completely changed for me, and it's just like game changing for my life.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, thanks, Sharath. That will be all for today. Thank you once again for your time and your
Thank you.
valuable ideas, inputs, sharing with us, with students, whoever are in doubt. And it's been really great connecting with you over the past week and today as well. Great learning experience for us.
A
Thank you very
pleasure
much.
is mine. Pleasure is mine. It's always good to have interactions. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and thank you all, everyone, although all of our followers who could join us today. Hope our conversation today will help you bring about a change. It will steer conversations in the field of parametric design. Wish you all a very happy weekend. Stay safe, stay positive. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, Sharath. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.